Hi everyone and welcome to today's video, which is sponsored by Cricut. I'm going to be making 3 autumn projects with the help of the Cricut Maker 3. Now these are beginner projects, so if you are new to using the Cricut like myself, don't worry, these are going to be really simple to get started. And if you don't have the Cricut, you can still follow along for inspiration and you can make the projects with a few minor adjustments. So I'm starting my first project with this deep shadow box. I'm going to open this up so I can access the inside. Now I don't want my glass, so I'm going to remove that, set that aside. And then I want this to draw along so I know how much to cut. And I'm going to be using something from my stack of papers here. You can just print something out onto some card. And I think I'm going to go with this nice neutral background. So I'm taking the backing and placing it on the paper, and then take your pencil and draw along it, and then just cut that out. To stick this down, I'm going to take my double-sided tape and add a few strips, and then just peel the backing off. And then bring back your paper and place it on top. Now I've placed it back inside my frame and I'm securing the backing. You can paint the frame if you want to. I'm going to go ahead with these inks just to give it a bit more detail. So this is the Cricut Maker 3. This is how it opens up. That's actually one thing I really love about the machine. And inside here you can see A is where you place any pens that you have, and B is where you have the heads that cut. And then these are the buttons on and off, pause, go, and what you need to load your mat. Cricut also sell this handy pack with all of your essentials, and these are the 2 things I think I'm going to use most, the weeding tool and the squeegee. You can then organize your essentials in here or in here. Now this is a software that you need to have with your Cricut. It's called the Design Space, and when you go into here you can make anything. This is where the magic happens. So for now, let's go into images. You can search images and lots will come up. Cricut has so many, and you have a subscription which you can pay to receive everything free, but if you don't want to pay, they do offer some free images like you can see. And then your image will appear here on your canvas, and you can make it bigger or smaller. When it comes to telling Cricut what you want to do with that image or file, you go ahead into Operation, and then there will be a drop-down menu. For this pumpkin, I'm going to select Cut and Basic. Now I actually want to add some text inside the pumpkin, so I'm going to click on the text box and type in my text. You can then go into Cricut to select what font you'd like. You can download your own again, and you can also favorite some. And as you can see here, you can go into the filter and you can select free. So if you don't have a subscription, all of the free fonts will show up. So I've selected a font, and now I'm going to go back into Operation, and this time I'm going to select Draw and Pen. Now as you've noticed, the text looks quite different. It's just an outline, and I just wanted to show you that this is going to happen with any text unless you go into the filter and select Writing. Now sometimes I don't mind an outline and I just colour it in using ink or colouring pencils. So as you can see, after selecting Writing, it's transformed my text, and this is exactly what I was after. Now I'm happy with my text. I'm going to position it where I like, which is in the centre of the pumpkin. Now select everything with your mouse and go to the bottom right side of the screen where you'll see an attach button. Click that. This step is really important. Then go to the top of your screen in the right and click Make It. Just follow the prompts on the screen after that. It guides you through each step, so I'm selecting on mat and making sure the size is correct. You'll then see your design like this on the mat, and if you're happy, you can press continue. I connect my machine using Bluetooth, but you do have a wire that you can plug into. So your machine will show up, and then again just following the prompts here, I selected the material which was light cardstock, and then you can go for default pressure, more or less. I selected default pressure, and then I went ahead to add my pen inside the machine. This is how your cutting mats look. You have them in different colours, and as you can see in the corner you have light grip or standard grip. That affects the tackiness of your mat, and you don't just have to stick with black, you can get other pen colours, for example this Cricut pack here. There's also different tip sizes in the pens that you can buy. So I placed orange coloured card onto my mat. This is the light grip mat, and then I pressed the button for the cutting to start. So you can see the machine is writing first and then it's cutting the pumpkin around it. It will tell you once it's done on your screen, and then you press the button to unload the mat and gently peel your card away to reveal your design. It really is a learning curve, so don't be afraid to make some mistakes. This is just me showing you. I did have to do several attempts. That's how I learn everything, and that is how you learn. So they're all happy mistakes. So I'm back with my pumpkin that's being cut and written by the Cricut, and I want to add a little bit more card on the back of it just to give it some support. So I've gone ahead and just drawn along the pumpkin, the main bit. The top doesn't really matter. So I'm going to cut this out and then stick it to the back of my pumpkin. And then I'm just taking a glue stick to stick the two together. My pumpkin is a lot sturdier, which is what I wanted. Now I'm taking some ink just to go along the side for a bit more detail again. And then for the top bit, just taking some green ink. I'm then taking some twine. I'm going to add a little hot glue on the back here. This is a very small amount of detail, but I think it's going to make it look that little bit better. And then wrapping it around just at the front on the stem, securing the two together. Then I've got this bow which I'm going to stick on the twine. Now in the centre of my shadow box I'm placing one tumble tower brick just to give it height and dimension, make it pop out of your frame. And then whatever glue you'd like to use, I'm just taking hot glue again and making sure that that's in the centre where I want it before I secure it down further. So here's the final reveal. I really like it. It's nice and simple. I love the colour of the pumpkin, and as you can see the Cricut just really helped. Like I would never be able to write that neat or even cut the pumpkin, and it's nice to know that you can still go for a handmade look even when using the Cricut. The next project is quick and easy. It's really simple. So I uploaded my image and I went into operation and selected pen, and now you can see the Cricut drawing it out onto my white card. So here it is inside my little mini frame, which I've got from Primark by the way, and you can leave it like this. I think it looks really good, but if you want to go a step further you can fill it in with some black ink for example, or some colouring pencils. I think this gives it a really nice handmade look, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to colour in the pumpkin. It's very faint, the amount of pressure I've applied, so you almost can't see it on camera, but I really do like that little bit of colour. So I wanted to show you the smart vinyl. These are the vinyls that you can put in without a mat. There's removable vinyl and permanent vinyl. Permanent vinyl is good for water bottles, outdoor signs, things that you want like waterproof and you don't have to seal it. And there's so many types of vinyl that you can get. You don't need to just stick with solid colours. There's glittery, holographic and so many more. Honestly, once you do 1 or 2 projects, it really just comes natural to you, and using the design space just gets so much easier. So here I've just placed in Hello Fall and then got it to cut onto some black vinyl. This is the first project of course that I am using vinyl, so you're going to get to see how to use the weeding tool and the squeegee. Once you have your design cut, remove it from your cutting mat and go over it with a squeegee. I make sure that I apply as much pressure as I can, and then once I'm done, I gently peel the vinyl away. A hack I learned from watching some Cricut videos is that sometimes you need to select a different type of material than what you're actually using. For example, for this I selected permanent vinyl glossy. That just increases the pressure and it makes it so much easier when you're weeding and peeling away that vinyl. So sometimes it's worth experimenting with vinyl when it comes to settings and see what works for you. Now you're going to use the weeding tool to help you weed those black bits that you can't really remove without this tool. Then once you're done, you want to cut a small piece of transfer tape, and Cricut also sell this. I've cut mine size and I'm placing it over my text. You want to take your squeegee and go over it. Again, I do apply some pressure when using the squeegee just to make sure that all my text does stick to the transfer tape. And then once you're done, gently peel away the transfer tape, and then as you can see it's all nice and stuck and you're ready to put it wherever you need. So I'm taking this lovely pumpkin mug and I decided where I want my text to sit, and then I gently and carefully placed it on top. I did cut the bottoms of the transfer tape just because I needed it to curve around the pumpkin mug. As you can see, it's not a flat surface. I was actually really worried in case this doesn't work out, but thankfully it did. Then I took my squeegee and just transferred the letters. Then once you're done, you're going to remove that transfer tape and voila, your image or text is going to be perfect. Now I'm back with my mug and I'm really loving it. I'm just so happy with how this has come out. And I'm going to fill the mug. I was going to do a faux dessert on top, but I've done that once before. So I really wanted to actually create a small cute arrangement inside this cup. And I'm going to start off with this, which was actually a Christmas ornament. But I think he is perfect for autumn. So just snip that off. And I'm going to place him in the center. And then build a small arrangement around him. So I'm taking my pine cones. And then some dried wheat. And I'm adding just a small amount of hot glue to the bottoms, just to make sure it sticks to the side of the mug. And then a cinnamon stick, let's see how that looks in there. Maybe at the back here, yeah, that looks great. Just want to make sure you fill any gaps. I think that looks good there. And then we'll finish off with this faux acorn right at the front. Oh my goodness, this is definitely my favourite project from today. It is so adorable, and you can change this for seasons and holidays. You can even personalise these. You can make them as wedding gifts, Valentine gifts, Mother's Day. Just change what's inside and the saying. So that's all of today's projects. I hope that you have enjoyed watching and that they have inspired you. As always, let me know your favourite in the comments below. If you are wondering whether to buy a Cricut, my honest review is that it really is worth it. It saves you so much time and you can just make so much more with it, and it looks really high end. Just adding vinyl to something really transforms it. And if you are a crafter that likes to sell at fairs or on Etsy, this will definitely up your game. There's a ton of materials that you can use and cut on when it comes to the Cricut. You then have the pen feature too. You can even cut certain types of wood. And if you were like me and you felt so intimidated by the Cricut, because I know there is a lot of people who actually even get a Cricut and it just ends up in storage because they're a little bit worried, then honestly, get it out of the box, load up the software, and I promise you it is so much easier than we think. If you're thinking about getting a Cricut, all of the details will be in my description box and my pinned comments. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, bye for now.